position yourself in any particular way. So as a business owner, you need to realize that you need to be intentional in order to get the results that you desire. You need to pre-program your results in the decisions that you make and in the foundation that you lay for your business. So basically, as a business person, you need to learn to live your life on purpose and build your business on purpose. Now, if you just have a quick look at the picture that I have on the screen, you have a lot of swans, and most of them are white, but you have this pink swan. I'm not sure if that's a swan, but I'm just calling it a swan. I'm not sure what bird it is. Some of you might know, but at least it's made a decision to turn up in pink, you know, as opposed to coming out as in the normal clad. So basically, as a business owner, you need to make certain decisions that will differentiate you in the marketplace and will place you in a particular position in the mind of the consumer or your target market. So like I said, you must be intentional in everything that you do, which means you live life on purpose and you do business on purpose. So what we are looking at today is to decide on what place you're going to decide on what place you want to occupy in the mind of your target market. How do you want to position yourself? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to place yourself? And how do you want to do that? So basically what you have to realize in life is that you shouldn't let things just happen to you. You can choose. You can make certain choices and pre-program your success. One thing you need to decide as you're building your business is you need to decide if you're going to be a commodity or if you're going to be a unique brand. Now, I guess you probably might understand what I mean by commodity. That means if somebody picks up what you do, it's no different from, it's like having, let's assume that we have maybe cans of beans, but your can it doesn't have any particular brand, you know. So it's a commodity because it's common in the marketplace. So is your business a commodity? Is it something common, or are you going to be intentional in branding it, in giving it a unique brand? So this is basically the difference between if you're going to, this makes the difference between if you're going to compete on price or on value. For instance, if you are a commodity, you'll end up having to compete on price. People would take another commodity or take another similar service or similar product to what you are providing, and they would compare and say, why are you selling your products, or why are you selling your services more expensive than the other person's? However, if you have a unique brand, people would not compare you to another based on price. They start thinking differently. They start thinking of value. Now, positioning yourself as the go-to person in your niche, or positioning yourself at all, or branding yourself, would make the difference between you seeking for clients or if you're going to be sought. Yeah. So if you decide to do or carry out the steps that we are talking about today, it will make a difference between you seeking out for clients, you chasing after clients, or clients chasing after you. So you need to decide, do I want to run after clients, or do I want to attract clients? Or do you want to run after opportunities, or do you want to attract opportunities? So basically, what I'm just trying to help us do through this seminar is to help us play a new game, which is you want to be the one that is sought. You want to price your services on value. You don't want to compete on price. You don't have to compete on price. So basically what you're going to do is that you're going to have to change the nature of the game, and that's what we are going to be doing with you today. Now, as I was planning this particular training program, a thought crossed my mind, and probably, I mean, it's to do with relationships, and and when people are having relationships, you see that there's certain girls that attract all the boys or all the men, you know, and you find that in some cases it will be certain girls running after all the men. So what makes the difference, you know? So you need to do something about yourself and about your business to be attractive to your clients, you know? So it's possible to be attractive to your clients. It's possible to turn your business into a client magnet. You know, it's possible to turn your business into to make your business more magnetic by positioning by positioning yourself as the go-to person in your niche. As a go-to person, you become more influential and you become more visible, and you definitely get more clients and make your profits. You boost your profits. I'm not sure if you've heard of the term COI, becoming a COI. Now, in business, you want to position yourself, or you want to do certain things that will make you a center of influence. You want to make yourself a center of influence. And the quickest way to become a COI, to become a center of influence, is to help others achieve their goals directly or indirectly. Remember, I think it might be helpful for you to keep in mind that what we're doing today is helping you become the person that people run to, the person that people go to in the marketplace or in your niche. Helping you. So what we're doing is helping you to become the go-to person in your niche. So like I said, so you have to position yourself, you have to think of yourself as a center of influence, because that's what you want to make yourself. That's what you want to make your business. And to do that, you need to be other-centered. You can't be self-centered. You have to help others. You have to be ready to let go of your goals for the meantime, even though you'll achieve your goals in the long run. And you have to help others achieve their goals directly or indirectly. Now, the person who is a center of influence actually is the one who takes responsibility. They take responsibility for others. They take responsibility in so many other ways. I'll just quickly give an example of this in my particular situation. And it was an incident that happened today. If some of you probably are connected to me on Facebook, and you probably might have seen a picture that I posted up on my Facebook page this evening, or in one of the forums that we might jointly be in. And it's a picture of myself and a counselor, and it was taken at an event, a launch of a women's club, a business women's club in my local area. And basically, what's happened there was there's an umbrella body that runs women's groups. They run business clubs, but there wasn't one in my area, and I approached them and invited them to come to our area. And by doing that, automatically I've positioned myself as a center of influence, because I'm taking responsibility for bringing that club into our area, and then the other additional abilities that responsibilities that now I'm the host for that club, and there'll be different women coming to that group, and I will be the go-to person. That positions me as a go-to person in that particular target market. So as a KOI or as a center of influence, you need to be ready to take responsibility for others. You need to be ready to lead, and you need to be ready to lead, and you need to be ready to serve the interest of others. And basically, you probably have heard that if you want to go up, the way up is down. You know, if you're not ready to take responsibility for others or helping them meet their goals, there's nothing that would attract them to you. But what is attracting them to you would be the fact that you're out there helping them to achieve their own personal goals. And in the process, your goals will be, you will achieve your goals. Like I'd say from the events, okay, so yeah, okay. So like the event, like at the event that I mentioned earlier, quite a number of doors have actually opened for me to do other things. I wasn't there to promote myself. I was there to promote the ladies' interests. I was there to meet their needs. But because of that, I've been connected to certain people that I wouldn't have been connected to, and it's opened more doors for me. I'm not sure if these doors would, I believe they would help me in my business in the long run, but they might not help me in my business in the short term. And that doesn't really matter because I'm in it for the I'm in it for the long-term benefits. Okay. Now, as a KOI or as a center of influence or as a go-to person in your niche, you have to think differently, and you have to do what we call you have to work within a tight niche. Now, if you've been on our previous programs, you know that you probably know what I mean by a niche or a niche market. A niche, your niche is what you do. For instance, my niche is marketing, and your target market is who you do it for, and I do it for entrepreneurs. So I help women who are struggling with marketing their businesses. I help them get more clients and make more profits. But so here, to be a center of influence, you can't be the center of influence in a very big market, because it will take a lot of time before you get known. So to help you speed up the process of becoming a go-to person or the center of influence, you need to focus your market. You need to work within a tight niche. You need to carve out a niche for yourself in your marketplace to start off with. Now, while I was preparing the training and while I was writing this slide, the thought came to me. A thought came to me, and it might be one that you're probably familiar with, and that is being a local champion. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but it's a term that I grew up with. Yeah, being a local champion. So as a KOI, even though it doesn't sound so nice, I mean, it wasn't a positive term when it was being used. But if you look at it positively, you need to be a local champion. You need to position yourself as a local champion. And a local champion is not the same person who might have a lot of influence locally or in a small group may not have the same kind of influence in a larger group. So when you're starting out in business, you have to work within a tight niche. And if your niche is, your target market is tight enough, it would be easier and it will be easier for you to position yourself as that KOI or the local champion in your niche. So basically, what you want to be is a big fish, but you want to be a big fish in a small pond, because that is where your influence is greater. If you look at the two fish bowls, you see that the small fish is actually lost in that bowl. And it will take a while before it can have any effect on its surrounding on its surrounding or its environment, but the other one has already filled the bowl. So the tighter or the more focused your niche is, the quicker and the easier it is for you to become the go-to person in that particular niche, because it's easier for you to influence a smaller niche, and it's easier for you to be and to get known in that particular niche. So basically, when you choose a tighter niche or a smaller niche or a focused niche, what it does is it makes you visible and accessible. So people have access to you and you are visible. They can easily see you. They find out what they can easily find out what you're doing, what you're up to, and yeah, and that visibility helps you to spread your influence. Okay. Now, like I said, to become the go-to person in your niche, you need to think differently. You have to be other focused. You have to be out there to do things for people, help them reach their goals. And basically, the whole perspective is that of a giver. You have to be a person who will give. So basically, yeah, so the principle of giving is a key, is key when you're trying to position yourself as a go-to person in your niche. You have to be ready to give of yourself, give of your resources, give of your time, give of your insight. You have to be ready to be a giver, and it's only when you position yourself in that way that your influence begins to grow. Because the more you share with others, the more your influence spreads. So basically, as a go-to person in your niche, you also have to think of yourself as a person who adds value. You have to be out to add value to people, that whoever comes in contact with you will go away feeling that they have that something, that they know that they've gained something. No one should leave your presence without knowing. No client should leave your presence without feeling that, yes, something has been added to me, not like something has been taken away from me. Okay, so basically I said the way to do that is to share, to serve. You motivate others, you inspire them. And basically all that you're doing is simply for mutual benefit. When you're thinking of positioning yourself as a go-to person in your niche, like I said, you need to think of others, but it will have to benefit you as well. Otherwise, it's not sustainable. But the thing is that the benefits that might come to you or might be due to you will come indirectly. It might not be direct, but it will come indirectly. And your mindset will have to be win-win. You have to understand that for you to win, your clients have to win. They have to win. So you have to be positioned to make them win for you to win. Okay. Sorry, that's gone so quickly and I don't know. Okay. Now, another term that came to me as I was writing this is social currency. As you begin to give and give out to people and share what you know and give out what you have, you begin to earn goodwill with people. And that is currency. Sometimes people think of currency in terms of money, but you've got what we call social currency. I mean, in marketing, they sometimes use this in another way, but I'm using social currency to mean goodwill. You have goodwill with people. Okay, so you give, and when you give, it creates goodwill, and goodwill translates itself into marketplace influence, and the more influence you have, the more customers you have, and the more profits you end up having. So this slide is slightly out of place, so I just need to skip it. So basically what we're going to do now is look at the 7 models that I spoke about initially. I said that there's 7, I'll share with you I will share with you 7 models that 7 strategies that you can use to position yourself as the go-to person in your niche. You don't really have to you don't have to use all 7. You might find that some are more in alignment with the person that you are. You might find that some are more incongruent with who you are or what you're already doing. And all you might need to do is to maybe magnify that particular model in your business or in your life. So let's move on. So 7 ways in which you can position yourself as a go-to person in your niche. Now, one of the ways of doing this is by adopting a celebrity status. And the reason why I put this one as the first one is because out of the 7 strategies, this is one that gives you the most visibility. Okay, so it gives you more visibility. And basically, in order to position yourself as a celebrity, you have to be ready to go to events. You have to be visible online and offline. That means you need to be at events, you need to take pictures, you need to spread the news. You need to end up maybe doing your own PR. And another way of doing this is by writing books, so you can be visible through the books you write, by being interviewed, because as you begin to step out, you begin to see that people start approaching you for these different things. So as you're more visible and people know what you're about and what you can do and what you have, because you're starting to share your knowledge, your inspiration, you're starting to motivate people, it begins to attract all these opportunities to you. And opportunities for interviews will start to come. So basically, if you're deciding to use this particular model to position yourself as a go-to person in your niche, you have to be ready to make news. And when you're thinking of making news, you have to remember that news can be positive or it can be negative. So you have to be ready for maybe negative news. You have to be able to take that, because the more visible you are, the more things people will say, the more misconceptions people would have. And some people would have the right conception of you. Some people might like you, some people won't like you, so you have to be ready for the 2 sides of this particular strategy. But one other thing you have to add, because we're thinking of you as a business person, one other thing you have to add to your celebrity status is credibility. In order to do business, you need credibility, so you have to remember that. Yeah, and you gain credibility by sharing your expertise. But in this case, you're not leading with your expertise, you're leading with your status. You might have found, if you look around in the business world, you'll see that some business people, they've positioned themselves as a celebrity, but they're not, they're business people. They're not like normally you'd find people in the film industry or people who are models or in the fashion industry who do this. But more and more, you find business people who have positioned themselves as using the celebrity status. Yeah, but like I said, because you're in business, your status or the celebrity status can't just work for you. You have to be able to give value to people. So you need to be credible, and you have to be able to share your expertise with people. Yeah, so you need to share expertise that will benefit your audience for it to really work for you. Now, with the celebrity status, you need to be transparent. People want to know what's going on in your life. And you need to tell your story. You have to have a story to tell. Now, there are 2 types of celebrities. Some celebrities are up there, you're down here, you can't reach them, they're like an idol. But that's not exactly what I'm trying to say here. But the kind of celebrity that would really work, would be one where people can identify with your story. They can identify with where you were and can see where you are. So what they're doing is they're buying into your story, and they're buying into the hope that your story brings, and they're buying into that dream. So they're staying with you and they're sticking with you because they believe that they are where you were, and you're able to get them to where they can be. Yeah. So basically, you're selling them on the dream that if I could make it, so can you. So it's not about me, 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 me. I'm here, I'm up there, you know, look at me. That won't really work. For people to really follow you, it has to do something for them. They have to feel that, yes, it's happened for her. Yes, then it can happen for me too. So you need to be able to bring them along and help them walk their journey. Okay. Now with the celebrity status, I said that it gives you a lot of visibility. And when you have that kind of visibility, it means recognition. That means you're recognized. And when you're recognized, it's easy to make more sales because people know your name. They know your brand. It's easy to make more sales. It's much easier. And with more recognition, you're able to charge higher fees because there'll be so many people wanting access to you. So your fees you can charge much more for access to you and to your expertise. Okay, so that's it with the celebrity status, and the next one we'll be looking at is the expert status. So you can, if you're not comfortable with the celebrity status, you might find that you're comfortable with positioning yourself as a go-to person using the expert status. So basically in order to be an expert, you need to focus on making yourself a thought leader. That means you are a person who regularly thinks out of the box. So you share your thoughts. You're ready to share your thoughts, and you're ready to think contrary to mainstream thinking in your niche. And that's what would attract people, not just being obnoxiously different, but being helpfully different, you know, not necessarily buying into everything that people are saying, but you're coming up with different thoughts, and because of that, you're creating a new trend and people would follow you because of that. So you need to be an independent thinker, and you need to be a thinker that is on top of the box. So you're not in the box and you're not out of the box, you're on top of the box. Okay. And a way to develop that expert status is by sharing your expertise. You need to be a publisher. You know, you don't need to be a publisher as in having a publishing house in that same way, but you need to be able to publish things. Maybe you publish quotes. It could be as small as publishing your quotes, publishing your thoughts, publishing blogs, articles, books, courses. Yeah. So you need to be able to share your thoughts. Your thoughts have to go forth. You need to be okay. So one thing in order to get the expert status, share your thoughts. Then you need to be known for something. You need to be known for a product or a solution. So your product could be a book. Your product could be something that you've invented. Your product could be a solution that you've kind of come up with for a problem in your niche. So you need to be known for something. For instance, if you come up with a solution, you need to brand your solution so people know you with that brand. And they know you with that solution because it's branded. You know, so as an expert, these are the things that you need to do. Basically, you have to understand that if you have the answers, people will turn to you with their questions. People are always looking for answers. So you would have people beating their way to your door because you have the answers. And automatically that's positioned you as the go-to person because they will come to you because they know you as the expert. Because they know you as the expert, they will come to you for their solutions. Okay, so with the celebrity status, people will come to you because of visibility, and they will come to you because they can identify. You have a story to tell, and you have a hope. You have a promise. You have a promise that you're selling to them. I was where you were, but look at me now. An example is Oprah Winfrey. You know, she had her story from where she was to where she is now. So you do have people who might be following her, believing that they can also transition or become what she's become. So she's used the celebrity status, but you could see that she's a businesswoman, you know. And there's some other examples like that. But in the case of the expert, you share your expertise. You become known for thinking contrary to the trend in your niche. Okay, so we've looked at two, and the third one where you can position yourself as a go-to person in your niche is by being a connector. So to be a connector, you need to be well connected. And the connector, basically what they do is they connect people with others. So in order to be well connected, you need to change your mind about networking. And networking doesn't necessarily mean going to networking meetings specifically, but you have to be out there meeting people. You have to be out there building relationships, either online or offline. Earlier, one of the other slides, I mentioned something about having social currency. You might not have money, but if you have relationships, you can get what you want. You know, money isn't the only currency. So as you come into business, you need to start thinking differently. You need to start building relationships and value your relationships. You can get from where you are to where you need to be just on the back of the relationships that you have. If you for instance, if you have favor with the people, you've given to them, you've connected them with others, you find that they will do the same for you, and you'll move ahead quite quickly. Okay. So the connector is a good networker, and they master the art of building strategic relationships. You can build relationships, but you can also be strategic in the way that you build your relationships so that they can work for you and so that you can speed things up for yourself in your business. Yeah. So we looked at networking. So you network, you get to know people, you get to know the key people in different circles, you get to know other centers of influence. And the other thing is that you need to be good at making referrals, which means that you introduce people to others. So even though you're in business, not everybody is your client. So you might be able to introduce somebody looking for something to somebody else who can supply it. Yeah, so you need to master the art of building strategic relationships. You need to get into referrals, introducing people to others, and your introductions can be one-on-one, okay, or it can be one-to-many. An example of one-on-one introductions, two people who can benefit from having a relationship with one another. You introduce them to one another. In terms of one-to-many, you might find one person who can benefit from the people on your list, so you can introduce them to your list. So that's like through joint ventures, or you might be a person, as a connector, you might be a person who has events. So you have different events, maybe it could be business events, and you connect people with one another. The good thing about the connector is that the connector is the person who has the lists. And in business, the person who has the list of names and addresses, the person who has lists or who has names and who knows the people actually is quite wealthy. You might not have products or you might not have services, but if you have a big mailing list, if you have a list of people, then you are actually quite rich, and you can find other people who would supply maybe the products to your list, or vice versa. So yeah, so the connector is people rich, they're relationship rich. And people will seek them out for that because they know the right people, they have the right connections. People will seek them out for that. So like I said, you need to keep in mind that we're looking at how to become the go-to person in your niche. So the connector if you have the right relationships, if you know the right people, people will keep on coming to you to have access to those people, or to be introduced to those people. So that automatically changes your position in your niche. So the next one, which we have up there, is you can position yourself as a resource. As a resource, you're well informed, and you can deepen your knowledge in your subject area. You can be very aware of industry trends. You can be aware of the news in your industry. And you might be knowledgeable about who knows what. So if somebody comes up with what they need, you know who to point them to. So basically, you're a resource. You're there, and people can come to you. They know you have a wealth of information, and if they need, you might know of somebody like that. That if you need this information, you know who to ask. You know who to go to. So in your niche, you need to be that kind of a person. Now, as a resource, for instance, if you are working with in your niche, for instance, let's say you're working with women, and okay, let's look at my case. If I'm working with women, and the service I provide for them is business services. But as a resource, I might know other people who might provide them with, who might do their hair, or who might provide them with childcare. So as a resource, I might know the people that they need to know. So the women who own these businesses will come to me. I become a sticking point, because to get what they want, they have to come through me. They would come to me, and I know who to connect them with. Or they might come, oh, Davida, do you know a good hairdresser? Or do you know, I'm thinking of other businesses. Anyway, do you know a stress therapist? So you can be a resource to the people in your niche by being knowledgeable of other contractors or other suppliers that they need, or having access to them, or getting into partnership with them, or having a database of these people, so that you can easily refer them on to these people. So you become the center of influence, and you become the go-to person, even though even though you have your business and you're providing them with the benefit of the services you provide, but you're adding other value to them. It's not going to cost you anything, but it's going to gain you a lot of respect and a lot of influence in your niche. Okay, so basically, like I said, you partner with other strategic alliances, and you signpost others to different resources. Okay, so the next one is the advocate. And the advocate is a person who is passionate about something. For instance, I'm passionate about helping children or marginalized women. So I'm an advocate for women. Now, that might not have any direct relationship with my business, but indirectly, people respect you because you are standing for something. You're standing for maybe the needy, or you're standing up for something, yeah? So you're passionate about something, you're standing up for that thing, and you're speaking up for that thing. So even though you're running your business, you also have a social aim, and you're having a social impact, and that translates into influence, and it translates into business, and translates into more business. You can get into the press because you're an advocate, but it would you'd find that it does something for your business. It boosts your sales, and it boosts your visibility. Okay, so another one is being a fire starter. So these are ways that you can position yourself as a go-to person in your niche. So like I said, you need to think of which ones relate to you best and which ones you can easily fall into. So the fire starter is a person who starts a movement. Basically, you create a new culture in your niche. So you have a lot of energy, you have a lot of positive energy, you are creative, you mobilize people to a cause. So you're mobilizing people to a particular, in a particular direction. Yeah. So basically, the fire starter is cause driven. Yeah, they're cause driven. And what they do is they attract followers. So by being this person who is starting this movement, you begin to attract people because you'll attract followers. Your cause may not be directly linked to your business, but it could be indirectly linked to your business. It could be a social aim, like I mentioned. It could have social impact, but it will attract followers and will make your would put your business in a different light and position you as a go-to person in your niche. And finally, the seventh one is a hybrid. That means you can be you can combine any of these different different statuses together. For instance, you can be the expert. Sorry, I've got that spelling wrong. You can be the expert connector. Yeah. So you can be an expert, but you can also connect people with one another. You can be a celebrity advocate. Quite a number of people are like that. You know, they're celebrities, but they're also advocates. They're speaking out for the interests of maybe the poor, or maybe a particular group of people, or a particular cause. You can be an expert celebrity advocate. Okay, so that one is the hybrid one. So you can be a combination. You can be a combination of things. But you, like I said, look into your life, see what's already there, and what could you enhance, what could you bring out to the light, and what's more natural for you. Because if you go along the lines of what's not natural for you, you'd find it difficult to keep it up. Okay, so in becoming and in using any of these statuses, one of the key things is that you need to be memorable. So you need to brand you. You need to brand yourself through your story, like I mentioned. You need to make an impact, and you need to leave an impression in the minds of people. So basically, what you do is, by adding value to their lives one way or the other, you're leaving footprints in the sand of their lives. The other thing is you need to be visible. And I'm not sure if you've heard of the term ubiquity. And basically what it means is that when people look around, they see you. You're everywhere. Now, remember the example I gave you of the big fish in a small pond. If you focus your niche and you're working within a tight niche, everywhere they look, everywhere the people in your niche look, they would see you. You know, they will see you online. They will see your messages in different forums. You know, they will look around and all they see is you. So that's one. By becoming the go-to person, you become visible. You're everywhere. And the other thing you need to do is to become fully expressed. You have to make sure that you're fully expressed. And by that I mean you go out to make a real difference. You are you to the full. You know, you don't hold back on who you are. You are you to the full. Whatever, if you're going to be the expert to the full. Whatever you decide to do, be yourself to the full. As you can see, that particular, I keep on referring to it as a swan, but I'm not sure if it's a swan because of the look of its beak in the picture that's on the screen. I'm not sure if it's a swan because of the beak. But if it's a swan, you can see it's pink. And it's not just a light pink, but it's a bright pink. It could have been brighter, though. Maybe it's not itself to the full. But I'm saying, yes, stand out and be whoever you are, because that is the way that you would differentiate yourself and attract the kind of attention that you need to grow your business. Okay. So as you grow your business, it is who you become that would make the difference. Like I said earlier, you need to create goodwill in the marketplace, and that translates into likability. People like you. Remember, for you to be the go-to person in your niche, people would need to like you. And some people might not like you, but they might just respect you because of the knowledge that you have. But it would be nice if they like you as well. Yeah, you need to have credibility, because for people to keep on coming to you, they need to trust you. They need to believe that you have their best interests at heart. Okay, and like I said earlier, that is all social currency. Now, basically, the key thing you need to do once you have set yourself as the go-to person in your niche is you need to own your niche. Yeah, and you own your niche by creating community, because if you're going to be the go-to person in your niche, remember that particular fish was within its own bowl. It had defined its niche. It had carved out its niche, you know. So you are the go-to person in your niche, but you have to own the niche. That means you have to dominate the niche, not in a negative way, but by, like I said, you need to be everywhere. You need to make your presence known. Yeah, you need to be visible. And remember that marketing is about creating awareness. So everything I've been telling you about today is about creating awareness so that people can find you, not like you have to keep on going in search of them. Okay, so basically I'm saying you need to own your niche, and that's by creating community. And there are several ways of creating community. And one of them is by creating a platform, which could be a forum. You know, you might create a forum, and that's your platform. And in a way, that's a way through which you can begin to own your niche. Because when you become when you're the one who creates, if you create the forum, obviously you'll be the person people would have to come to if they had questions or whatever they wanted to do. So automatically, by owning your niche, you become the go-to person in that particular forum that you've created. Another way is to have a mailing list, and I keep on stressing this, the importance of having your mailing list as a business woman. You know, so own your niche, create a forum, have your own mailing list, because when you have your mailing list, you can keep on speaking to the same people, speaking the same thing to them, bringing them together on the same thoughts, bringing them together on the same ideas. You know, another way of creating community is your blog. You can create community around your blog by writing articles and attracting a group of people, because you're focused. If you're focused on a particular area, you're talking on a particular topic, people will come looking for information on that topic, and in that way, you begin to create a community around your blog. You can create community by creating an offline club. You know, like I said today, I was at this the club that was launched, this business club. That's another community that is being created. But if you are the one who initiates it, automatically you become the go-to person in that area. So basically, once you've created your niche, or once you've carved out your niche and you've started creating community, it's an investment of your time. It takes time to do these things. You know, some people say, oh, I can't spend all the time doing that. But then basically what you are not having, what you'd find that you don't have in the long run, is the kind of influence that you need to attract people. You find yourself chasing people all the time. You know, so basically once you've created your community, what you want to do is to make sure you serve that community and you nurture the community. When you own your niche, you have an asset. Your community is an asset, and when you have that asset, business becomes easier. Now, can you imagine having a community of people that you're talking to, that you're nurturing constantly, to not having one? If you have two business people, you might think, oh, why is that person more successful than me? You know, but if you look at them, they might have a community that they've nurtured, that they've grown. You know, and yeah, and because of that, business, it becomes easier because the community naturally buys from them. They're respected, they're well known. Business is easy. Instead of them chasing business, business is now chasing them, and that is the position. That's what you want to do, and that's where you want to be as a business owner. So basically, it results in more feet to your door. That means more people coming to you for what they want, more purchases, more referrals, loyalty is built, people become loyal, repeat sales, because out of loyalty you get repeat sales, more opportunities. You find so many opportunities coming your way. I have so many opportunities now for interviews, for different things, for joint ventures. People see a few things that I do, and I get them. People will come to me asking, okay, can we do this together? Can we do that together? Or can we have an interview? So all these opportunities will begin to chase you down. They'll begin to come to you as you begin to step out in this direction. Yeah, you'll have opportunities to speak, to write, maybe to train, to collaborate. Okay. So that's the end of the presentation, and I'll just quickly share with you my offer, which most of you already know about, and that is, so this particular slide is out of place. I'm just going to go over it quickly. Okay, so I'm going to go over my my VIP program, and that is for you if you want, if you need help and support in getting your business off the ground. I offer one-to-one support, and one-to-one support to get your business off the ground and help you build the right foundation that would help you to ensure that you build it right from ground up, ensuring that you're able to get customers and more profits. So basically, the whole thing is to help you accelerate your business growth. You can leverage on the knowledge that I have, on the expertise that I have, and that would help you get to where you want to be much quicker. Okay, it would help you take your business to the next level quite fast. Okay, so if you're interested in having that kind of help or coaching, please drop me an email. You've got my web address and you've got my email address as well. Okay, so if you have any questions, we can go straight into that. I would prefer that you maybe ask the questions one at a time, because or maybe unmute yourself and you can ask the question. Hopefully I will be able to hear you today. I'm not sure why I couldn't last week, but hopefully that's resolved. Any questions or any thoughts? Everybody's a bit quiet today. Any questions, ladies? Or any takeaways? What are you going to take away from the session, and what are you going to use in your business? Any thoughts? Anything you want to share? Can you hear me though? Because it's all quiet at your end. I just wanted to make sure you can hear me. And you've been hearing me. Okay, okay. Thanks, allotted. Okay. Okay. Any questions? If not, I'll just tell you what we have planned for next week. Okay. Abby, ask for referrals and help with referrals. What's the question? I don't understand the question. Abby, I don't understand your question. Is that a question or? Comments, okay. Okay, yes, that's an important thing, yes. You can ask for referrals and help with referrals. So that's being a connector in a sense, yes. But I think you need to position yourself as helping with referrals first, and you'll find that people naturally refer others to you, you know. if you've been, the funny thing is that if you've been helpful, if you've contributed to a person's progress, it's easier for you to ask them for referrals. But if you haven't given anything, to go and ask for referrals is a bit difficult. So you want to build some goodwill with people by being there to give and to help. Even if you're not helping them and they see you helping others, they will be, it's much easier. I don't have a problem really asking for referrals, you know, because I believe that I've given and I give and I keep on giving, but and people are really willing to help. I found that people are really, really willing to help. Yeah, we need to make things easier for ourselves, because if we put the cart before the horse, if we put the cart before the horse, things that should work will not work because we're not doing it in the order that it should be done. So like we give and then it's given back to us. Okay, so what Annette is saying, when you talked about networking, was a confirmation as I'm in the midst of planning a networking event. Oh, that's really good. That's great. Yes, it's good to position yourself as a person planning the event, helping others, bringing others together, connecting others. And by doing that, you find that things become easier for you because you become a center of influence, and people, your business will do whatever you're doing, or your program would have more visibility. More people will know about it because you're the person doing all that organization. Okay. So if we haven't got any more questions, also with Annette, I'm just going to read her comments. Also with the referrals as well, I've spent today requesting for referrals from those not interested in the opportunity. Okay, that's interesting. Yes. Yeah, that's it's good to ask. I found it's easy to ask people for referrals, for help, but make sure that you've helped more, you know, help 10 times more, so it becomes easier for you to ask, and you know, easier for you to get those referrals. There's business out there. We have to believe that there's business out there. People will refer people to you. The thing is that you might not be in direct contact with the people that need your business, but other people are in contact with them. So you need to make them aware. You need to make them aware of what you're doing, you know, and they will, and if they trust you, they'll find it easy referring others to you. Any more questions or any more comments before we close? Okay, so I'll quickly go into what the next session is going to be about, and it's next week, Wednesday, and next week we'll be looking at how to position yourself as the go-to person in your niche. No, that's the, oh no, I put the wrong title. I'll have to send it to you by email. Yeah, it's the wrong one. I'm sorry, I have a feeling that I might have picked up a different version of my slides when when I started the session. I've had different slides, versions I've been working on. So I might have picked up an older version. So sorry about that. But I'll send you the top topic of the webinar for next week in my email on Friday. So if we haven't got any more questions, I just want to thank you for attending the webinar, and it'd be great if you could drop me a note on how beneficial it was for you. Sometimes it takes a while for that information to settle and for you to think of how it would apply to you. But please do drop me a note, because I do appreciate your feedback, because it also helps me to know exactly what to do, what's working and what's not working, and what you need as I develop these webinars. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. I only have a few more minutes, so if you want to just quickly share what you do, Annetta. I have a very low battery on my iPad. It's really gone very low. I think so I can't continue for much longer today. Sorry. Yes. Annetta, can you tell us what business you do? Abby, do you want to tell us what you do quickly so that everybody can just introduce their businesses and we can take it from there? Health and wellness, allotted. Okay, business and life coaching. Annetta. Okay, what's 5 links? What's that? Is that a telephony service? Rennie, what does Rennie do? Okay, we haven't got any more comments. Okay, market. Okay, I thought it was that. Okay. You can share websites quickly. I've just got 1 minute left, and I'm going to have to close the webinar for today. If you want to share your websites with one another, please do so. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we're going to call it a day to at this point, and I just want to thank you for attending. Okay. Lotte is putting hers there as well. Okay. So thank you ever so much. Thank you. Thanks for attending. And have a great week and a great and productive week and restful weekend. Okay. I'm going to have to go now so that my battery doesn't just die out on us all. So thank you ever so much for attending, and I would, if you want to be in touch with me via email, please do so, and we'll take it from there. Thank you. Rennie. Okay. Okay. Thank you. And bye.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected.